I honestly just kind of feel like maybe just like neglect maybe from a parent, like not full like a parent's like neglecting a child, but just maybe not like aware of like where their child is at like all times.
A lack of education and parents not having a proper conversation with their kids and explaining what to do when you're put in that situation, and explaining that not everybody has the best intentions for you and what to do when you're put in that situation.
Portray them like very weak, very
I think the media describes an ideal victim as one who is alone, is unsupervised.
Just because, like, I don't really know why, but I've noticed that most likely, like on the news and stuff, they mostly show kids that come from like a better neighborhood, and they don't really show a lot of kids that come from underrepresented neighborhoods where most of them
I think they're like in their 30s, maybe, with they usually got like kids, like 2 kids and a wife. They be like, or sometimes they might be alone. Like I was gonna say,
yeah, they'd be alone. Sometimes though, it'd be like youth pastors and shit. Like that's crazy.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, they'd be like, oh, they were their youth pastor, or there was someone they used to babysat, or
like
there was an older brother's friend,
or it could be like a family, like a dad that's taking the custody battle.
Oh yeah,
it could be like
custody battle thing, like a stepdad or like dad that doesn't have it.
Yeah. The media usually portrays like child abductors as people who are typically men, who wear dark clothes, are taller, maybe physically more able to drive a van, or live alone maybe.
I think honestly anywhere between 2 and 14 seems like the age range of where you hear people the most, or children go missing the most.
I think it'd be anywhere from like a newborn to like adolescents, like the early teenage years.
I think between their elementary school grades, so like K through, I would say like 7th.
Ages 4 to 16, 17.
Abducted. I think because this is the first time they're actually like doing things on their own, and they're like more subject to like public schools and more strangers, and I think that, you know, they're starting to walk home and they're starting to, you know, hang out with their friends, and so oftentimes they tend to be targeted because they are surrounded outside of the house, outside of their parents' supervision.
Well, obviously with like babies, they have like no defense, like they can't defend themselves. And then like with younger children, it's easier to like manipulate them, and same with like teenagers and stuff. You find ways to to distract them.
I think certain groups of children might be targeted more just because there's more of an easy access to certain like types of children. So children who maybe don't have a lot of parent supervision, go out and play on their own, are easier of a target than children who are involved in after-school activities or have their parents watching them.
I would say maybe because they look very easy to abduct, or they're just they're powerless over the other.
I feel like I said previously, I said it has to do with location. Unfortunately, I feel like some children, if you live in a low-income area, or if you live in an area that's like more impoverished, then you're more likely to be targeted, because a lot of those kids unfortunately don't have a lot of things to like look forward to, and they don't have a lot of protection, and it seems like even the government and states and things like that, they don't really care about them, and they don't get the treatment and protection that they need. So I feel like people in more low-income areas in the United States, in the world, because there's so many different places that children can be abducted, and sometimes it's like a part of the culture, unfortunately, and it's really sad. But
they're gullible. Little kids are hecka gullible. Even when parents be like, "Yo, don't say hi to strangers," like they're
curious.
Yeah, but most of the time though, it's not a stranger that abducted them.
That's true.
So it makes it easier.
Okay.
If the children's parents teach them how to recognize the signs of someone who may try to hurt them, then the children may be a little more worried about that. But if the parents do not tell them, perhaps it's more likely.
I'm not sure. I think maybe like something that goes through somebody's mind is like if they abduct a child from a family that has money, that they get like a higher ransom to get the child back. But I don't think there's any like clear reason based off an upbringing.
The parents definitely can inform their children, let them know like anybody can be a predator, like even they're somebody you trust, they're your coaches or like they're your friends, they still can be a predator.
Yeah. I think one good thing that has helped me with my parents teaching me is just hearing from other people's personal experiences, what they've gone through, because I feel like if a child hears about something that actually happened to someone from them or from like a close friend of theirs, it becomes more real and more likely to happen. So if a child hears of those personal experiences that one has experienced, I believe that can definitely help them learn that this is like a real issue.
Same thing, just maybe providing more neighborhood watch. Also, just maybe educating everyone on how to properly just kind of look out for each other, look out for any danger that's possibly roaming around their neighborhood or community.
I think communities as a whole should provide like training and services for communities on areas of the city that are more affected by it, areas that parents need to keep their eye on, safety of like trick-or-treating, safety of school pickups.
Definitely I feel like say something, and if you see something like that's all the normal, like report to the authority.
Honestly, you just gotta talk to your kids.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
getting to know.
Scream, run, like somebody gonna hear you.
You can get those little like firefighter phones. They have like 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons if you don't want your kids to have a cell phone, you know.
My roommate got this thing on her backpack where you pull it and it's like a yelp, and I'm like, dang, you in
pepper
college,
spray.
Girl. Well, they're infants.
Oh yeah, I forgot the age.
I feel like definitely increasing the community awareness, build a better system, supportive system. Also, I feel like we should use some kind of chips or like locating device, like the thing we give to dogs. You know, if a dog gets lost, so we can like look up where they at. We should give little kids some kind of chips, so like it's hard to remove. Like when they being abducted, like parents can look up their locations.
Information to everybody such as police officers, social workers, parents, school teachers, even politicians.
Yeah, I think it's important to talk about it more in schools, churches, fellowship centers, and just convos with each other, your neighbors and that kind of thing. Talk about what's going on in your community and the potential dangers, and not being afraid to talk to those children about what can happen to them if they're not careful.
It's on us to stop child abductions.